Okay, and thank you, Deputies, for all of their contributions and questions. Very clearly, Brexit remains a key issue for this Government, for this House, even as we face challenges of COVID-19. In responding to Brexit, the Government has faced this tough task with welcome support from this House on priority issues that have been at the centre of our strategy. The solidarity and support shown by all sides of the debate here at home, and not just today but certainly up to this point, has been an important part of addressing our Brexit challenges. Though we may differ occasionally in matters of approach or emphasis, which is only natural, the priorities that we have pursued have been supported across both Houses. For our part, we will continue to work closely with parties and with other stakeholders as this work goes forward, and indeed as long as we are in a position to do so. At the same time, Ireland will face these challenges with mutual solidarity and support of our EU partners, and with all of the strength that the EU membership brings. And just to confirm and reiterate what the Tánaiste has outlined, continuously engaging with my own European colleagues, that solidarity remains there and remains strong. We remain fully committed to making sure that Ireland's interests are protected and advanced in negotiations on the EU-UK future relationship. Equally, it's important that over the transition period we see the full implementation of the withdrawal agreement and the protocol. This is, as many deputies have outlined, not negotiable. It has already been negotiated and is legally underpinned. This is key to protecting citizens, to ensuring peace and stability in Northern Ireland. It also plays a vital role, again as been mentioned, in protecting the single market and Ireland's place in it. The link between implementation and the future partnership negotiation is very clear. The protocol must be operational at the end of the transition period. It is critical, therefore, that work moves forward to put practical operational arrangements in place to implement the protocol. Again, we've seen how long it has taken us to put our own measures in place at our ports and airports. Clarity on this work is particularly important to give reassurance and certainty, in particular to people in Northern Ireland and to businesses in Northern Ireland, but also across this entire island. The Government continues to work closely with our EU partners to ensure that our collective approach to these negotiations reflects our values and our interests, but we also continue to engage with key figures and interlocutors on Brexit issues within the UK. Officials from across government are continuing their work to make sure that Ireland's voice is at the heart of the future relationship negotiations, that work between the EU and the UK to implement the protocol is taken forward, and to ensure domestically that Ireland is prepared to end the transition period, or for the end of the transition period. But as we know, time is tight. Ken Corla, with less than 7 months to the end of the transition period, our work will undoubtedly intensify in the period ahead. We remain committed to doing everything in our power to ensure that government, citizens and businesses are as ready as we can be before the end of the transition. And the Tánaiste alluded to, and I made reference this morning in the stakeholder forum, that the structures that were put in place between our own department with Taoiseachs, all departments, but those engagement, that structure is still there and will continue to be in place irrespective of who is in what ministry or what government is in place. On the positive side, we have in place the withdrawal agreement. It is agreed, the issue of Northern Ireland and our protocol. The Government's preparedness work will be closely aligned with progress on the negotiations and will evolve as elements of a deal become clearer. As the talks progress, we will roll out communications programmes covering specific areas. As before, departments and agencies will continue to engage with key stakeholders, trying not and obviously taking into account the significant challenges that business, individuals and sectors are currently facing with COVID-19. As the Tánaiste mentioned earlier, whatever the outcome of Brexit negotiations between the EU and the UK, this will not, and the status quo will not remain. Brexit, as we have always said throughout this, will bring significant change. It's important that Ireland is ready, and this Government stands ready and has continued to work to make sure that Ireland as a whole is prepared. Thank you.